If shit goes wrong, stop assuming that the world is against you and you're just like, I don't care, man, everything's going wrong for me and I'm just feeling like I'm not supported. But let me tell you something, you are fucking supported. The universe is supporting you right the fuck now. 1, 2, 3. My darling, I love you, 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 I love you. Love you, I 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 love you. Love you, I 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 love you. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite YouTuber, the spiritual bad bitch. My name is Anila Sita, and if you're new here, then you're lucky. And if you're back, then welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here again today. My intention is to read you guys' DMs, look at what problems you're dealing with, and then respond to them. This is a new style of content that I kind of want to get into. Today we're going to be answering a question from one of our watchers called Tiba, who DM'd me, and I really felt to make this video because I feel this girl, and I have been going through the same thing last year, and I got out of it, and I really want to give all my pointers and tips on the subject. So Tiba wrote, "Hi Anila, I am one of your fans and I really like your energy in videos. Thank you so much. Could you please make us a YouTube video where you feel like the universe is against you, because lately I've had lots of things happening to me and it made me question my relationship with the universe." Then I ended up writing her back and asking her to dive a little bit deeper into what she's going through exactly that's been going wrong for her. She said, "I had some trouble, especially in a manifestation I wanted but didn't really get, and I did the law of detachment and shadow work and I still didn't get it. I accepted it, but I really wanted that manifestation to be true because it was going to help me so much in my career and student life as well as personal. Also, every time I try to be positive, something bad happens, like my cat getting sick or some financial issues or the car doesn't want to work. That's why I went to you, because every time I feel a little disappointed in the universe, I just go and watch your videos and it kind of keeps me back on track and have faith in the universe again. It's just some little things that triggered me every time I try to stay positive. So my question would be what to do when you feel like the universe is against you." I love this. Thank you, Tiba, for being so vulnerable and honest with everything that you've shared. I'm 100% sure the things we're going to be talking about today are going to help so many people, and I'm sure, Tiba, that you are not the only one that feels this way. For those of you guys who have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I talk about our triggers and the patterns that we keep re-experiencing in our life. They're trying to show us something about ourselves, particularly about our wounding. I'm gonna start straight away with an exercise that you can do to figure out why certain things are happening in your life, and I'm gonna share a personal story with you because you guys know I'm a real bitch and I gotta share real stories so you can relate. The things that are happening are trying to show you something, and the easiest way you can figure out what they're trying to show you is by pulling out a piece of paper or your computer if you like to journal on there and writing a letter to the parts of yourself you don't like or the things you don't like in your life and asking what it's trying to show you. An example of how you could do this: I remember I had back acne, and I usually have pretty clear skin, and I remember when I was in Bali I randomly got back acne at the end of it, and I pulled out my notes and I said, "This is what I feel about you." And I wrote down everything I felt about myself and life because of this back acne. I ended up bawling my eyes out and writing this huge text about how much shame I really have inside myself, a lot of self-hatred at the time, and past experiences actually started coming up with family members who I had trauma with. This really showed me, wow, my back acne is much deeper than just back acne. It was showing me all these emotions that I had experienced in the past that were trapped in my body and just wanted to be released. And I was releasing them by directly addressing my back acne, by telling it what I feel about it. I hate you, you make me hate myself, you make me feel ashamed. You can then ask too, after saying this is what I feel about you, what are you trying to show me about myself and my life? When you figure out why something is happening in your life, it stops happening. And I know when you're going through shit, it's so hard to do these kind of things because you are in a frequency where you are thinking the universe is against you. But the whole point of this video is me telling you that the universe is not against you. The universe wants to see you win. The universe wants the best for you. The universe is making you the person that you've always wanted to be. Challenges are brought to you to make you level up to the person that you always wanted to be. I really want you to understand the main point of what I'm trying to say here. Your patterns and your triggers are always showing you where your energy is directed at. And oftentimes, a lot of us do not process our emotions the way that we should, which is like children, which is that if something makes you sad, you cry. If something makes you happy, you laugh. That's how simple it is. But as we get into adulthood, a lot of us probably have patterns from our past of suppression because we've maybe grown up in families that were emotionally unavailable and we're not able to regulate our emotions the way that we really should have. What happens when these bad things are happening in your life is the universe is saying, hey, you have wounding going on and we need to trigger this wounding to come up. We need to make you cry. We need to make you scream. We need to make you mad because this anger and this sadness is still living in your body from the past. And so these things are happening in your life to purge this emotion and cleanse you. But of course, when you're going through shit, you won't see it that way because you'll think, why is everything going wrong for me? Feel these emotions. Allow yourself to be sad. Allow yourself to cry. Trust me, this is literally my #1 tip on being more present in your body, being more confident, being more strong. It is literally by allowing yourself to feel every single emotion that comes into your life, giving it space, giving it love and compassion to be felt. Another amazing question though that you can ask yourself that will tell you why something's happening in your life. What has this experience made me feel about myself and the world? And goddamn, the answers that come out to that question will show you why the fuck this is happening and what you really think about yourself. I want to give you an example of something I noticed recently, a little trigger of mine, something that I noticed was really affecting me. I have some unresolved hatred and anger towards certain female family members, and I wasn't even aware that this hatred was as present as it really is. And I remember I met this girl here in LA and we followed each other on Instagram, and for some reason I noticed myself having hatred towards her, even though I don't even know her like that. I don't know her as a person. I don't really know anything about her. We just kind of quickly connected and followed each other on Instagram. But I found myself posting less on social media and blaming this girl who I don't even know, right? I'm like, this girl is the reason why I can't post because I know this bitch doesn't want me to win. This bitch is hating on me. I keep feeling these emotions. I keep thinking these thoughts until one day I asked myself, how do you know that that's the truth? How do you know that this bitch is really hating on you? And then I realized I don't know that. She is actually just embodying this female family member that I have hatred towards. This is a trauma of mine. I never confronted it. That hatred, that resentment, that anger is inside of me. And because I'm not confronting those emotions, what's happening is that I'm attracting things in my life that are calling up this emotion again. But when you're in autopilot and you don't take the time to really think about it and question it, it will keep running and you will genuinely think that some people are hating on you, that some people have an issue with you, when really it's just unresolved trauma inside of you. Now, something else I would like to say about everything going wrong in your life. This is something that just happens in life sometimes. And I think that when we're into manifestation, we can get really wrapped up in what's occurring in our physical reality, and we can get super attached to it, and we can get really stuck stuck and angry at everything. But what I need you to understand is that this moment right now is actually past energy playing out. It is past belief systems, it is past thoughts, and it is past manifestations that are playing out right now. What does that mean? That means it doesn't really matter. You can create your future here in the now by choosing to change your thoughts and shift your perspective and your focus. Because like I said, what's happening in your life is always showing you where your energy is predominantly pointed at. Last year, so much shit went wrong for me. Felt like no matter what positive work I did in the present moment, shit was just continuously going wrong. And now that I look back at it, I can see there are valuable lessons that were taught to me in those moments. I want to give you another story right now of a time that something awful happened to me and exactly what it was trying to teach me, because I know some of you guys are going to relate. I remember one day I ended up getting scammed because I was trying to buy concert tickets for SZA. I was trying to get the cheap way out by getting a ticket on Twitter, so I was really in lack. You guys know I talk about lack, I talk about abundance. Abundance is the mindset that there is more than enough to go around in this world for all of us. Lack is this thinking that there is not enough for all of us. It's a limiting belief that keeps us from really experiencing the beauty of life. Shortly after I sent the money to the guy, he blocked me, and I realized I had been scammed. Then I ended up calling my boyfriend, crying my eyes out, and just being so upset, not only that I got scammed because I was struggling a lot financially, I really wanted to go see the concert. And then what happens? My boyfriend says, hey, why don't I buy the ticket for you and you can go? And you know what happened in my body was like a weird reaction of not really wanting to receive that, because I've struggled a lot with receiving. I've been stepping into my feminine energy more and more. Feminine energy is all about sitting back, trusting, and receiving, and I've struggled a lot with receiving. So he's offering to pay for this ticket, which is a lot more expensive on the website than it was on Twitter, where I fucking got scammed. I'm literally feeling so much joy and so supported. It was like a beautiful connecting thing of my relationship, and it helped me to receive. So can you see how the scam, on the grand scheme of things, it was teaching me a lot of different things. It was allowing me to receive, it was deepening my connection with my boyfriend, and it taught me to be more careful with where I invest my money. Do you see how beautiful that is? How many lessons actually came out of this wrongdoing? Really train yourself to look at everything in life as there being a silver lining. So even when things are going wrong, what is a good thing? And if you can't see it just quite yet in the moment, I promise in time you will, even if it's not right in the moment. This is actually not the only thing that happened to me money-wise. I also got a parking ticket, a really expensive parking ticket, and even that time I cried my eyes out. I was crying so hard, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, if you're teaching people about abundance and stepping into it and understanding that the universe is abundant and there's more than enough money to go around, and money can and will flow into your existence over and over if you reprogram your mind to be that way, then why am I sitting here crying? And the truth is, I had to purge those emotions. Like I've been saying in the beginning, I had to cry out these emotions. I had to, because only like that can I really go into the path of abundance. You can only feel and be abundant when you release all lack programs inside of you. And a lot of us have lack programs inside of us from the way we've grown up, from the way the world is set up. It's very much giving lack and it's not giving abundance. But when you have the awareness, you can realize, nah, you're abundant and the world is abundant too. While all of these things were happening, like Tiba, our lovely subscriber who I read the DM in the beginning, I was getting so angry and I was like, why is the universe against me? Why? And I remember speaking to my boyfriend's stepdad, and I kind of told him, you know, everything's been going wrong for me. I kind of feel like the universe is against me. And then he really checked me, because he said, but wait a minute, the parking ticket is because you didn't watch where you parked. So is that really the universe being against you, or is that you not being careful and cautious? I'm like, damn, okay. Scam, he says the same thing. you weren't careful enough. This has nothing to do with the universe or an evil force being against you. And I really needed to hear those words, so I'm telling you them right now too. There is no evil force against you. And if you could adopt more of a sense of humor with things in life, you'll see that it's not that big of a deal. And when things feel like a big fucking deal to you that are going wrong, it's showing you where your wounding is at. And something else that he told me, a problem with a solution is easy to solve. You go and you do the solution. But a problem without a solution is just bullshit. What are you gonna do? You cannot do anything if it's a problem without a solution. What does this mean? This means focus on the things that you can control in your life. That would be continuing to cultivate a positive mindset, continuing to tell yourself positive affirmations, even when shit's going wrong. In fact, I get a lot of DMs from you guys saying, I just started listening to subliminals, or I just started listening to affirmations. Why is everything going wrong in my life? Because sometimes that's life, but it doesn't mean that those affirmations don't work, because like I said, this moment right now is past energy playing out. So even when you are experiencing lack, you use it as an opportunity to cry it out and then say, you know what, I am abundant and I trust in abundance. If you are feeling unworthy, you cry out that unworthy feeling and then you affirm to yourself, I am worthy. And what happens in you continuously telling yourself this is actually in your brain, new connections are formed. So literally all of this stuff is happening on a neurological level. Plus, in time, reality catches up to these affirmations, to these manifestations, to all these things. When I started on YouTube, I was very depressed, but I remember listening to these affirmations and these subliminals for fame, like every single night. I would write in my gratitude journal and be like, thank you for my YouTube success, before I was even a YouTuber. Guess what? Reality caught up. So Tiba, when you said in your DM that you feel like the universe is not on your side, that you're trying to be positive, and every time something's going wrong, you are currently in a purging period. And this is really what I can say for myself last year. I was doing all the inner work. I was really working on cultivating this positive mindset. When have I seen the results? Definitely not last year, but right now I'm seeing the results. If shit goes wrong, stop reacting and being so, I guess, dramatic in assuming that the world is against you. And I don't mean this in a mean way at all. I'm trying to empower you with what I'm saying, because I so get it. I get it. When you're in this stuff, what I'm telling you goes in one ear, out the other, and you're just like, I don't care, man. Everything's going wrong for me and I'm just having a period of hatred and I'm just feeling like I'm not supported. But let me tell you something, you are fucking supported. The universe is supporting you right the fuck now. Even when all those bad things are happening, like I told you, there's a reason why those things are happening, and they're trying to purge something inside of you that needs to come out in order for you to be feeling as whole and light and as clean inside as you deserve to feel in your life. Now, I would like to finish this video off with an active tip of how you can stop reacting to everything in your life. And I'm again gonna demonstrate this with a real life example from my life. This is gonna be especially useful for people who are finding themselves in a loop, because this story is something where I found myself in a loop constantly. What used to happen to me with my YouTube career is that brands would reach out to me. They would often not pay enough. In fact, they wouldn't even be near my rates. I made it about my self-worth. And I would tell myself, these brands are not paying enough because they must not see my worth. I'm not good enough. They don't think I'm good enough. And all of this lack bullshit in my mind, and also just feeling personally attacked. Then I read a line in 50 Cent's book that absolutely changed my whole perspective on this whole thing. When you are in business, it is never personal. People will often want to pay you less than your worth, not because you're not worthy, but because they are coming from a place of wanting to minimize how much money they spend. You simply have to become strategic, he says, and advocate for yourself. Making something that has nothing to do with my self-worth about my self-worth. Can you see already what the goddamn lesson in that was my self-worth. Learning that I am good enough and cultivating this sense of self-worth without needing somebody to validate that with their rate. It is my job. It is an inner job for me to make sure I know my worth. Now let me show you how I recently passed this test. So after I read the 50 cent thing, it changed my whole perception on business and how I've been going about this wrong, right? And a brand reached out to me recently that again wanted to pay me significantly less than my rate, and I thought about it, and the truth is, you know, I do feel now that it is important to honor every opportunity that comes into your life, because I think that is the abundance mindset. It is thinking big and it is honoring everything that comes into your life, but also discerning maybe what excites you and what doesn't. I noticed that deal didn't excite me. I didn't really want to do it, not necessarily because of the money. If it was a company I really wanted to work with, I would have done it for a lower rate, but it wasn't really a company I wanted to work with, so it wasn't worth it for me, and I didn't want to do it. But I didn't get emotional about it. I just said, well, I guess it's not going to be this one, and there's going to be a next one. I had a different reaction, you see what I'm saying, than I usually would have. Guess what fucking happened to me last week? I ended up signing a contract with a brand deal that reached out to me that from the get-go was able to pay me more than even my rate. Thank you, universe. Thank you. You are on my side, and you always have been on my side, but I've been seeing it wrong because I've been in my own wounds and my own triggers. All of this shit that I did last year, all the inner work that I put in is really paying off right now. Even if everything is going wrong, please be delusional. Tell yourself that this means something different than what you're saying it means right now. Affirmations really do work. Whether you are telling yourself the affirmations in your mind of, I am good enough, I am good enough, I am abundant. I do this all the time. I consistently affirm stuff to myself wherever I'm going. Especially when good stuff happens, I keep that energy going by affirming it more. If bad stuff happens, I affirm the opposite. For those of you guys who know, I have meditations on my website that have affirmations. All of my meditations have affirmations, and they have subliminals all the way through, which are messages that you can't hear, but your subconscious mind can hear. The effects of this shit are so profound, and that is why I do this and I believe in it so much. They are 20% off if you type in the code BADDIE at checkout. I would highly recommend you go visit my website and you look at the meditations that there are. I have some for money, some for dark feminine energy. I have an unapologetic meditation, it's called, which is all about healing your authentic self and your inner child. There's a lot of different healing stuff there and affirmations of stories that you can tell yourself that will really have this positive ripple effect for the future. So even if right now you don't notice it, stop with the instant gratification. That is pretty much all I have to say for this video today. I just want to say thank you so much for your support, for your kindness. Feel free to flood my emails and my DMs with your problems. I want to be of service, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's all I have to say today. I really hope you liked this video. Sending you so much love and light.